Welcome back to High Guard TV, Bilal Muhammad's favorite YouTube channel. I'm your host, High Guard Sensei, and I'm here with Wolfgang. And you know we're still high off that win with JDM, so we just thought that we would celebrate a little. But then, we got this fight, Islam versus JDM, but at what cost?
We won. We actually won. Bilal is champion no more. Dana is happy. The UFC is happy.
Dana is so happy. Dana shook JDM.
He
tapped him up.
This that shit I'm talking about, man. You did what that fool Leo couldn't do in his hometown of the UK. But so we won, but at what cost? Because now Islam is moving up to 170 to chase JDM. He said in his tweet, he's time for him to become a double champ.
But before we move on, I just want to say that low-key I agree with what Wakili Buckley said. Look at Wakili Buckley's tweet now. It's crazy praying for your so-called brother's downfall because Bilal is your friend, your brother, and you're supposed to be cool. He trains with you. You guys, when you come together and now you're saying, time to become double champion. Let's go. Do you understand?
Which is really okay. So let's take a look at what that means for the welterweight division. So if Islam is moving up, the UFC now has a policy where they don't allow anybody be a double champ anymore. So obviously he's going to vacate his belt. But what about Sean Brady, number one contender? What about Ian Machado Ferry, the gay guy who just sneaked a win over Carlos Prates?
Wait, yeah, Gary's not gay. He has a wife and kid. Where is Gary gay? I don't understand.
The gay guy who just sneaked a win over Carlos Prates, he avoided getting his she's totally rocked in round 5. Shout outs to Ian Machado Ferry for that one. Joaquin Buckley assuming Joaquin Buckley beats Kamaru Usman in Atlantic. In Atlantic City. That means Joaquin Buckley has actually beaten 2 former champions, which in my opinion puts him ahead of Shafkat in title contention. I don't care that you had knee surgery and injuries happen, bro, and the division has to move on. You can't keep waiting for your ass, bro. So that's how the cookie crumbles. So Shafkat is probably not in the top 5 right now for that belt, in my opinion. But assuming we even want to toss him in there, Shafkat's also in contention. But all of them have to take a step back so that Islam
can get his shot.
Because he's dropping his belt. He's pound for pound number 1. If he says he wants to move up, I say let it happen. Yeah. Let him fight.
He deserves it. I feel like
he's the same, because I had the same energy when Topuria says he wants to go up and fight Islam. Yeah, he's dropping his belt, right? So that's commitment. Why make him drop his belt for not to fight as a contender? No. Make the fight. Let's see what happens. So let's make JDM versus Islam and see what happens. I'm personally rooting for JDM to get it back for Volk,
Islam said he's not Volk. He should keep his belt shiny.
Look at Islam with the trash talk, bro.
You can tell Islam has this demon time. He has this energy, man.
I love when Islam trash talks. It's always so fun. I remember when he told Volk that I will take you to deep waters
and you will discover who you
are. Islam's trash talk is low-key good.
Dude is actually good with this shit.
Very funny as motherfucker.
It's very funny,
I'm actually really hyped to see the fight. Even though it fucks with 2 divisions at once, but the restructuring...
It does not. Listen, look. I'm going to play matchmaker in the welterweight division, because like I said, we want to know where that leaves the welterweight division. So, Ian Machado Ferry, he's not gay. He's not gay. Forget what you people see. He's not gay. He has a wife and a kid, so he has a strange arrangement, but he's not gay. Ian Machado Gary.
He's a vegan.
Ian Machado Gary can get the winner of... Hey, Ian Gary can get Sean Brady.
Yeah. Let him fight Sean Brady.
Whoever wins that gets the title. Whoever wins that gets the next shot.
Yeah, definitely.
Ian Gary can fight Sean Brady. I'm down with that. Bilal can fight winner of Joaquin Buckley and Kamaru Usman.
No.
There's a story there. I know. There's the podcast that Usman keeps saying that he's going to drop, but he hasn't dropped it now.
I know, but
there's a story there. They're both old.
Hang on.
It can happen.
Hang on. Check this out.
It can happen. If Usman wins. If not, Joaquin Buckley too, he can get it. He's on the rise. I think this is 6...
For Bilal to get the title shot, let him fight Shafkat. when
But
Shavkat's off
Shavkat is
injury.
not healthy now.
When Shavkat's off his injury, let him. If either of them want that title shot again, either of them should fight for it.
Look, man. Okay, so wait now. So what will now happen to what's his name? Buckley versus Usman, the winner of that fight. What happens to them?
Top 3.
Top 3 what? Top 3 what?
Usman hasn't fought in a while, and Buckley has beaten in succession Wonder Boy and Colby Covington, which two former interim champions. So like that's very, very solid resume for him. The only high level. No, he got that draw versus this guy. Sorry, I keep forgetting. The only high level opponents apart from Ian Gary that Shavkat has faced is Wonder Boy. So that's why I personally say I believe Shavkat has less of a title claim than Buckley if Buckley beats Usman. That's my opinion.
Okay. But what if Usman wins? What if Usman wins, huh?
If Usman wins, he should fight Bilal.
Look, man,
Buckley should fight.
How I see it
Shavkat.
right now, so that division isn't stagnant. You put Sean Brady versus Ian Gary. You put they've already done what's the name? Kamaru Usman versus Joaquin Buckley.
Yeah, definitely.
Winner of that gets to fight Bilal. You understand?
Yeah.
And whoever loses that,
Fight
Shavkat for when Shavkat comes back. So division is still live. Division is not dead. So that's how I see it. But if you disagree, comment section is there for you to type out.
As long as Leon Edwards
remains in obscurity. But wait again, what if they put Leon Edwards?
He's a prospect.
What if they put that prospect? Yes, and what if they put Leon Edwards versus Ian Gary?
No.
Yes.
No.
He's still a former champion.
Leon Edwards.
There's a story there. There's that thing Ian Gary
should not.
There's that thing Ian Gary said when he left Leon Edwards' gym that they were jealous, they were scared of him.
Ian Gary should not. I may not be an Ian Gary fan, but I actually do have respect for what that man does in the cage. Do not stain your hands with that prospect called Leon Edwards. Leave him to be fighting.
Leon Edwards.
Let him fight Kevin Holland.
Okay.
And let's get.
How about with this?
Or Jose Masvidal.
How about this? Let's move the cards around a bit. Winner of Buckley versus what's his face? Usman
Fights Bilal.
Fights Sean Brady. You understand? And then Ian Gary gets to fight Leon Edwards, and the loser of that gets to fight Bilal. How about that?
Fucking blockhead.
How about that?
Look, I don't want that guy anywhere near the most boring title that I've seen in my fucking life. Nah, get that nigga out of my sport. I'm not interested, please.
Okay,
but
fine.
the welterweight division is very, very stark right now because we still have a lot of
There
guys.
are fights to make.
There's still a lot of fights to make. Pratesh lost no stocks, losing to Ian Gary. He's still an incredible fighter. He still can get the Jeff Neal fight, maybe. I'd love to see him versus Randy Brown. Sorry for calling him Rick Brown the last video. I'd love to see him fight Randy Brown too. Two power punchers who have all the smoke in the world for each other. Let's get the card. Let's get the cards moving. Let's get them active. And I'm glad a young man is champion in the welterweight division. That means that we will get active fights in the division.
Look, the welterweight division is arguably best division in the UFC right now.
With regards to activity.
Now
it's tied only
with the 155-pound division, the lightweight division.
So
that's what we're going to talk about next. So
because
now
Islam
has left his belt and left that division. So that belt is just there up for grabs, and we know who's getting the shot. It's Ilia versus Charles Oliveira.
They cannot give Arman that shot.
See, we're shafting that guy. I'm so happy. That is the narrative. Yes, we're shafting Arman.
We are shafting Arman.
Yes.
I'm glad we're agreeing to shaft Arman because he refused to take that fight with Gamrot. So
no. Yes, he did that. He did that to
himself.
He gave this excuse of, oh no, my back bed. I have a feeling that dude couldn't make weight because even Renato Moicano, when Hunter Campbell called him, he said that these dudes are coming in very heavy. One of them may not make weight. And I was like days ahead. So I was telling him just in case, make 155 because he stipulated fight with Enio Dariush was 156.
156 limit.
But they told him that you have to make championship weight. Just in case, because these dudes are coming in heavy.
And Manny Moicano, he cannot afford to lose.
Can't afford to lose now. He has to make that money, man. He's all about the Benjamins, yo. So I believe Sarukian couldn't make weight. That whole back excuse.
It was
Because immediately
bullshit.
after, he was already
You
tweeting,
see him
if you
doing
injure your
fucking
back,
pull-ups.
if you injure your back,
I saw him doing fucking pull-ups on
he
his-
flew and did interview. He did an interview.
Oh man,
Did
fuck
an
that
interview.
guy.
So,
Please, we're
fuck
shafting
this
that
dude,
nigga.
we're shafting him.
Let
And then now that
Topuria
he
versus
was
Oliveira.
now calling Oliveira out that doesn't Oliveira want to avenge his loss? The UFC match made you with Gamrot. Why don't you go and avenge that loss? He said, Gamrot is not in top 5. That's not about money. Nigga, screw you. We don't want to see you here.
Rules are for thee, not for me.
Exactly.
Fucking
Fuck
get this nigga out my.
You know why I say that?
out
All
that
these children,
attention.
all these children that came in silk pajamas, that daddies are rich, they ain't about that life. So we don't want to see you here. We don't want to see you. I hope the UFC shafts him and shafts him good. I hope he gets to that point where he's like Bilal going, Dana, please
Give me my shot.
Like,
I need to see him beg for that title shot before we even consider it.
Since it's Charles versus
Topuria.
If Arman can get his head out of his freaking ass, if he can get his head out of his ass and get on his knees, take a plea deal and take Gamrot, which is still okay.
Yeah,
Or,
I like the Gamrot fight, to be honest.
Whatever. He can take Gamrot or they can give him Gage because we're already having Topuria versus Oliveira, Poirier versus Max Holloway.
Yeah.
Who else can we pair up? We can give Gamrot, if Sarukian, he was supposed to get his head out of his ass, but since we're shafting him, we can do. Is Hooker healthy?
Dan Hooker is healthy.
Maybe we can rebook the Gaethje Hooker fight.
Yeah, let's definitely rebook that fight. Let's rebook that fight.
Let's rebook that fight.
But where do we leave Gamrot with this? Because, to be honest, I may not be a big Gamrot fan, but he's a hard worker.
Yeah.
He deserves something. Maybe Dariush?
Yeah, we could do that.
We could do Gamrot Dariush.
Gamrot Dariush, that would be dope.
Or I heard Mauricio Hufi refused to fight Gamrot on 2 weeks' notice because gets him no closer to the title shot. But he and I don't think they would let him take it, especially after what happened with Ian Gary and Carlos Prates.
Okay. So
yes, they are trying to climb slowly.
Okay, so here's what why don't we just do Justin Gaethje versus Mauricio Hufi?
That's too fast now. That.
What do you mean that's too fast?
We're trying to avoid them.
Okay, fine.
Like,
you're trying to
over
look for,
pushing.
Okay, fine. You're trying to look for where to put Gamrot, yeah?
Yeah.
How about we do this? We do Gamrot versus Viziv.
That's
that
decent.
fight. Yeah, that fight never got finished now.
It never really got finished.
Never got finished. This dude got injured.
It's like
so
Blades versus Aspinall.
Yeah. So
let's actually
Viziv
look
was
into
getting the
that.
better of Gamrot
before he fucked up his leg.
Fucked his knee up. So how about we get that? How about we get Viziv, Gamrot?
Who else is in the lightweight rankings? Because Joel Alvarez is out. He has an injured bicep. Grant Dawson is not getting a fucking.
How about we make BSD versus Gamrot?
He's French.
So, he has strong grappling, strong striking. It'll be a very interesting game.
He wins one fight against a Khan, and we're already back to that era
we're forgetting
of...
someone.
Who are we forgetting? Paddy Pimblett.
Paddy Pimblett. Okay, so wait, Paddy versus Gaethje.
Or Paddy versus Gamrot. Why not?
Paddy versus Gaethje or Paddy versus Gamrot. So we're gonna.
I say Paddy versus Gamrot.
Okay, fine. So let's do it like this. This is Topuria versus Oliveira, Dustin Poirier versus Max Holloway. We get Paddy versus Gaethje.
That's fine.
Paddy versus Justin Gaethje. Sees everybody's
let's do Gaethje Hooker. I want to see Gaethje Hooker. Let's do Paddy versus Gamrot because Paddy is literally immediately behind him in the rankings. So let's get Dan Hooker versus Justin Gaethje. We need to get that fight out of there.
Okay, fine. So then what about Benil Dariush? We rebook him versus Minato Moicano now.
Okay, fine. We rebook Renato Moicano versus Benil Dariush, and then we can book Benoit Scamdini versus Michael Chandler.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. You see, we fixed it.
We fixed it. This is proper matchmaking. This is proper matchmaking.
And then winner of how they call it? Then maybe winner of Oliveira versus Topuria. Maybe they get the winner of if Max Holloway wins Dustin Poirier.
Yeah,
I say Max Holloway fights for the belt because Max Holloway didn't have to come back down and do it. So I say
he gets something, but maybe the winner of
or if Max Holloway loses, Then
we give the winner versus Gaethje Hooker.
Gaethje Hooker. The
Yeah.
winner. Yeah. You see? Yeah. On High God TV, we be matchmaking, bro.
The UFC should fucking hire us to do this matchmaking.
Like I'm telling you, we're better than Sean Shelby and Hunter. Like Hunter Campbell. We're better than those dudes. Get us Africans up in there, live from third world. So So
possible outcomes. Let's talk about what are the possible outcomes. So we already talked about what are the outcomes within the division, what it looks like. But let's talk about the outcome. If Islam loses, like goes off, he finds out he's too small, gets sparked out by Jack Dilla Madalena.
Which is what I hope happens. I am praying.
I really hope they put JDM pound for pound number one.
Yes.
Like
for beating pound for pound number one.
They have to get pound for pound number one. We're done with John Jones. Let him just go off into the night.
John Jones fears Tom Aspinall so much. He's so frightened of
He's
Tom
doing
Aspinall.
Russian Ultimate Fighter right now instead of prepping for an Aspinall fight. So that gentleman is not serious. So let's assume. Okay, so JDM beats Islam. So Islam said he may want to come back down and fight whoever has the belt. So
I love Charles Oliveira.
I love Oliveira.
But just because of that,
just to
troll Islam, just to screw Islam.
I'm really rooting
for Topuria just to win. And I feel like stylistically, it's more likely Topuria can, because Charles Oliveira, he's in that Muay Thai stance.
Yeah, but he gets hit hard, he gets dropped a lot.
And he gets dropped by boxing.
Topuria heavy-handed.
Topuria is very heavy-handed, but Topuria is kind of
reckless.
Now, I'm not saying he's reckless. No, he's not reckless. What I'm trying to say is that he's that explosive fighter, Michael Chandler, but better with the IQ.
Has better IQ.
He has way better fight IQ and just doesn't cover space as recklessly as Michael Chandler does.
Definitely. You can see how he dealt with like a Ryan Hall trying to spam fucking grapples and everything.
So, I see that fight, there's a chance, he might come in like Michael Chandler, and Charles is capable of, keeping him out, But I still think Topuria has the tools to win, because if he goes to the ground,
solid
wrestling. Great, and he's also amazing at the jiu-jitsu.
Really strong, dude.
He might even sub Charles.
He might even sub Charles and then really put a stamp on his name. So if Islam comes back down, he may have to beg for the fights that he was avoiding.
Just imagine the press conference. Just imagine the press conference.
And you begged me for this fight.
You stalked me, and now you are here on your knees. Say thank you, brother.
Say thank you, brother. Say thank you, brother. Say thank you for title shots.
So those are possible outcomes. But if Islam wins in the welterweight division,
I think he can retire.
I think
he can retire.
No, I think he should defend.
Yeah, he should defend maybe one, two.
Maybe Ian Gary, winner of Ian Gary, Sean Brady, he can do defenses.
Maybe he probably wants to fight the Shafka to prove that he's that type of guy.
Or maybe he can fight Shafka,
Yeah, but those Caucasus guys, unless it's like opposing countries, don't really like fighting each other.
I beg they should fight each other. I'm tired of seeing that shit, Joe. Islam should have got to fight Bilal since. I'm tired of seeing that thing. They should fight each other, Joe. I beg. But anyway.
And then in the lightweight division, say Oliveira wins, what happens then?
Then we give whoever wins Paddy Pimblett, Justin Gaethje.
Okay.
No.
Paddy Pimblett versus Gamrot.
Yeah, we win. Whoever wins that, we give whoever wins Justin Gaethje versus
Dan Hooker. Definitely makes sense. I'd love to see
Justin Gaethje wins
or Oliveira Gaethje.
Yeah, if Gaethje wins, he gets the shot. Or Dan Hooker's been on quite the win streak. Quite the win streak. So,
I think he's finally putting it all together.
So, if Dan Hooker wins, we give him, if he can stay healthy and not be injuring his fucking arm all the time, we give him the title shot. So,
as long as, we are shafting Saryukian.
Yes, that's all that matters.
I hope Ilia tells Islam if Islam loses, I hope Ilia tells him to fight Saryukian first before he gives him the title shot.
Tell him, fight a proven lightweight.
Fight a proven license. Fight Saryukian
before you get
or fight Gaethje.
Yeah. But anyway, that's the video. We just played around with these things and just decided to have fun with it. So
let us know what your possible outcomes are. This win actually opened up so many possibilities for exciting fights for us. And you know what? We just wanted to share what our thoughts were on
the future of these two divisions.
Yeah.
But those are just our thoughts. We're not matchmakers, but we should be. with how good we are.
Come on,
but
man.
you guys, let us know what you think in the comments below. You know, if you
Like,
haven't
share,
subscribed, what are you
subscribe,
doing, man?
please.
What are you doing? Come on, man, subscribe.
Help us get to 500.
Yes.
You know, let me beg you like Leon's corner, man. Come on, Leon.
Come on, Leon.
Come on, Leon.
Come on, Leon.
You have to push it out, Leon.
Come on, Leon.
We're trying to get to 500 so we can give you guys updates where we have like really hot tips, bro.
But anyway, that's the video. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to keep your hands up
And protect yourself at all times.